August 4th, 1892. August 4th, 1892. My name is Lizzie Borden, and my parents are dead. They were killed, murdered, with a hatchet, just like this one. There are those who believe I committed the crime. My cold exterior may have contributed to these thoughts. I was born July 19th, 1860, in the same town I lived in all my life, Fall River. I had an older sister, Emma, who was born in 1851. We had a religious upbringing. I taught Sunday school, and at one time was involved in various church-related activities. However, I generally kept to myself. My sister and I lived with our father and our stepmother. Our real mother passed away when I was very young. Father was a successful, yet very frugal businessman. Our stepmother, Mrs. Borden. Yes, that is what I called her, Mrs. Borden. She ran the household. We had a live-in maid, Bridget Sullivan, who I called Maggie. Tension had been mounting for several months before the murders between Mrs. Borden, my father, and I. That is true. There were numerous reasons for this. One being financial. Mrs. Borden was encouraging my father to give her relatives expensive gifts, including real estate. She was giving away my and Emma's inheritance to complete strangers. All the while, we had to live with no modern bathrooms, only holes in the basement. For heaven's sake, this was 1892, not the Middle Ages. Mutton. We called mutton for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It made us so sick. But Father always said, waste not, want not. How could I become close to anybody? How could I make any acquaintances? What? To have guests over for dinner so that they could eat week-old mutton and have to use the holes in the basement? So sick. And then my pigeons. My beloved pigeons. My friends. He killed them. I'm sorry. The morphine must be wearing off. The doctor gives it to me to calm my nerves. Where was I? Yes, the trial. I was brought to trial the following June in 1893, but eventually acquitted for lack of evidence. You see, on the day of the murders, the police officers who were investigating, well, they failed to completely search our house. They completely ignored my bedroom. I had told them I wasn't feeling well, and they did not want to disturb me. However, it was brought to trial. It was brought to light during the trial that I had burned a dress in the days following the murders. Yes, I did burn a dress several days after the murders in the stove. That is true. But it had paint on it. I was not going to wear a dress with paint on it. It was of no use. So I did burn it. And yes, I was the only one home at the time of the murders, besides Maggie. But I'm innocent. I really am. But if there's one thing that frustrates me more than anything else, it's that nursery rhyme. That nursery rhyme. Oh, for heaven's sakes! They could at least get the number correct. It was 19 for my stepmother, 11 for my father. I should know! After the trial, I continued to live in Fall River, as did my sister. Neither of us ever married, and we rarely spoke to one another in our remaining years. Ironically, we passed away within days of each other in 1927. The events of August 4th, 1892, may have blurred over time, but the fact is that I shall forever be associated with one of the most notorious crimes in American history: the murder of my father and my stepmother. Whether I did it or not. But I'll leave that for you to decide. Have a good night.